So, what's your favorite Pokemon? That's the question I've asked myself recently. And while I go on a new journey with soon-to-be new friends I find along the way, one Pokemon out of the new Pokemon I grew fond of has shined brighter. And funnily enough, I like its base colors just as much, maybe even more, than the shiny form. And that Pokemon is Dragonite. A short while ago, I went to C2E2 with some family and friends. I was on a short mission to find a copy of Pokemon Black or White for my collection and some cool items. But as the day went on, I forgot about my mission. I enjoyed my time I had with my friends, and as we swept through the venue looking at the amazing cosplays and shops, and spent a whole lot of time playing Smash and trolling my friends, and even found a cool Garfield shrine. Though I didn't find a copy of Pokemon Black or White, I enjoyed my day to the fullest extent. Getting home, I decided to show off what I had, which were some new cards, a Groudon figure, and a Dragonite card and plush. To celebrate C2, I decided to get an insanely cool Dragonite from level 1 up to Ribbon Master. To begin, I started fresh by getting a Dratini. After catching him, I decided to name him Dr. Dratini in memory of Absol-Blogs' Dratini in Pokemon Silver. But I wanted to start fresh, so I just bred for level 1 Dratini. Eventually I get around Mesagoza like it's NASCAR to get my 2500 steps in to hatch Dratini. And in quick time, our new Dratini is hatched. Without much consideration, I decided to name this Dratini Rainbow Night. Firstly, I made a picnic to celebrate. Making sure he gets a little bit of love, Rainbow Night will become the strongest Pokemon in Paldea. After closing up camp, Rainbow Night went up 2 levels. I wanted to gauge how strong Rainbow Night really was, and after going against this Igglybuff, yeah, he's pretty weak. But eventually he got the hook of things and won his first fight against Lechonk. And another one immediately after. And eventually Rainbow Night hits level 4. And to celebrate, Rainbow Night gets an extra small EXP candy. And then Rainbow Night got to level 6 after a very close battle with a Psyduck. To try another level up method, I used EXP Share to get Rainbow Night to level 7. And to make getting EXP easier, I decided to make a sandwich using salt, pepper, cream cheese, avocado, basil, and a Pika Pika pick for the sandwich. And despite having a ton of treats before, I gave Rainbow Night a small EXP candy. And to add a little bit of spice to this grind, I gave Rainbow Night a rare candy. To make this challenge significantly easier, I gave Rainbow Night a lucky egg. I decided to give this little gremlin a little bit more love, just because I felt like it. And while I'm at it, I made a level up sandwich to make this quest a little bit easier. But in all honesty, it looks pretty bad. So as a way to ease our palates, here is Rainbow Night Rascalizing. Also destroying Rickety to reach level 8. And then level 13. Since I forgot to show this, I leveled up by catching Pokemon. Using the only clip I have as proof. Rainbow Night had another huge showdown against a terrestrialized Diglett. Winning with no issue, landing Rainbow Knight at level 14 and then eventually level 15. I moved to West Providence Area 1 and immediately got wiped by a Nimble. Rainbow Knight eventually got to level 16 and then got destroyed, again, by a Phanpy. After that egregious fail, Rainbow Knight got stronger, from level 16 to 17, to 18 to 19, 20, and then level 21. And as a treat for hitting level 21, Rainbow Knight earned a medium EXP candy. Rainbow Knight got back on track, hitting level 23, then 24, 25, 26, and so on. Finally, we get to the fight that got Rainbow Knight to evolve into a Dragonite. And for the billionth time, Rainbow Knight gets a treat, this time a large EXP candy. We get back to the grind at the East Providence area, beating up Hariyama and Dugtrios. After a short while, I realized Rainbow Knight got strong enough to beat up the EXP gold mines in Chansey and Blissies. And after a very short grind and one Flabébé, Rainbow Knight evolves once again. Part 2. Max out the Knight. Well, since I'm here with a fresh Dragonite, why not max it out? First, I went for the item finder mark in the Paradise Baron. Thankfully, it was a short 10-minute trip with a funky highlight. Then I made a short detour to Kitakami Hall to hopefully get the Gourmand mark. Little did I know, but this would take way longer than the item finder mark. After a short while, I switched the mark I was looking for to looking for the best friend's ribbon. I gave Rainbow Knight a few baths and berries to raise its friendship and eventually got the ribbon. And eventually Rainbow Knight gets his next ribbon. I switched back to getting the Gourmand mark and got it fairly quickly. With a few vitamins, Rainbow Knight also got the effort ribbon, now having 4 marks and a good EV spread. But now, the hardest 2 ribbons takes a fairly long time to get. The champion ribbon is simple, just mind-numbing when using level 100 Pokemon. Crocodile is a fairly weak member of this team, but he's still able to wipe most of the opponent's team out if needed. And eventually Rainbow Knight gets his time to shine. Despite being multiple levels weaker, Rainbow Knight managed to land a ton of hits and eventually KOs Megator. Eventually Miriam is defeated and we face Salvatore. It was a clean sweep and we beat him with just Skeletors. To move on to Hassel. Rainbow Knight was able to show off his true power, only to get destroyed next turn. The rest of my team picked up their load for a surprisingly hard battle. And Crocodile and Iron Hands carried the team to a victory over Paldea. Now having 5 ribbons, what's last? The partner mark is an insanely difficult and time-consuming ribbon to find. It took me over 12 hours of endless AFK spinning to finally get mine, but it was really worth it. And to celebrate the over weekend-long adventure to commemorate the biggest con of my life, I took a picture with Rainbow Knight. As I play Pokemon more, I hope to make these memories with more Pokemon like this. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.